The Aegean Odyssey leaves Agadir in the late afternoon and sets course for Arrecife, the capital of the island of Lanzarote. The Canary Islands are part of Spain, even though they are the closest to the coast of Africa. The Canary Islands are not named after the famous yellow bird, as I had always assumed. However, there are canaries on some of the islands. The name is related to Island of the Dogs, in Latin Insula Canaria. It was so named by King Juba II of Mauritania about 40 BC in a trip description to the Romans. The islands had a multitude of large dogs.
Welcome to Lanzarote.
Lanzarote, the volcanic island. The last major eruption started in 1730 and lasted for 6 years. The climate is very dry and the island is very rocky, with a range of volcanic colors. Black is predominant from the latest eruptions. Lanzarote is about 60 kilometers long and 25 kilometers wide. It is the fourth largest island in the archipelago. Arrecife dates back to the 15th century as a small fishing village. The name means reef in Spanish and refers to the sharp black volcanic reefs behind which boats could hide, protected from sudden pirate attacks. The Arrecife power plant produces most of the electricity for the island and is just north of the ship's mooring dock. Some cruise ships are already at dockside as we approach the harbour. The wharf is covered with wind turbine parts, a sign of a major move to renewable power production, making use of the constant winds on the island. The excursion on Lanzarote will take us to the lava fields, but first with a stop at the bodegas El Grifo, a large winery. Nancy stayed on the ship for this afternoon excursion. I am the Volcano addict. The Bodegas El Grifo was established in 1775, about 40 years after the last major volcanic eruption, which covered the land with black pumice. This is the oldest winery in the Canary Islands. This very dry volcanic soil produced sweet wines with special character. The bodega has an interesting cactus and vine garden, all growing in this black lava. The whole area is covered with vineyards, vines growing in the black volcanic ash and gravel. Vines are grown in geysers, cone-shaped hollows dug into the volcanic gravel, sometimes surrounded by a half-moon wall to protect the vines from the almost constant winds. The vine is planted at the bottom of the cone, creating a very striking landscape. The bus takes us through this vast vineyard area on the way to the National Park of Timanfaya. We will start our visit to the volcanic park at the visitor center of the Mountain of Fire, about the center of the major 1730 eruption. With little rain, there is no erosion. There is hardly any vegetation in this extremely dry and windy climate. Camels. There are camel tours organized to travel the protected trails in the stunning volcanic park. The sun is already getting lower, changing the colors of the landscape as we reach the visitor center. The blue Atlantic Ocean is about 10 kilometers away to the west. Hot lava is close to the surface in this location. We will be given evidence of this fact in some demonstrations. The group is in a circle around a reddish gravel pit. The guide will take a shovelful and drop some of it in each extended hand. It is about 70 degrees centigrade, a lot warmer than bath water. I have a terrible spot to take the pictures.
It is hot. It is hot. Wait.
We are guided to the next demo, burning of brush at the end of a long fork. There is no lava in the pit, of course, but the ground is very hot. The pit where the brush is held is about 400 degrees centigrade. Next, we walk to an artificial geyser area. Some steel pipes have been driven into the gravelly ground. Please move back, please move back. The guide will pour some water into one of the pipes. And steam emerges from two of them. A bit more water and a brief geyser. The restaurant is powered by lava heat. There's a large barbecue over a stone pit in the beehive lava structure. The floor is very hot and you need good shoes to keep your feet from getting burned. Underground lava provides all the heat needed for this huge barbecue. We get back on the bus for a half-hour drive through the lunar landscape that has essentially remained unchanged for 300 years. We will circle the epicenter of this major eruption. There is no vegetation in this dry, hot, windy climate. This is a smooth but narrow one-way road that only allows touring buses and some licensed cars to travel. Some 300 years ago, a priest in a nearby village of Yassa kept a diary of the eruption which lasted 6 years. In the bus, An audio tape will provide details of his records.
Porque soy así, soy despistada la mayoría del tiempo, sí. Pero no es el final de
Viste, no tenemos todos. 7 square kilometers is of volcanic origin.
Can you all hear it all right?
Rose from the ocean some 25 million years ago as a result of the accumulation of material from repeated eruptions. The area of Timanfaya National Park we are now visiting, within the confines of the Fire Mountains, is located in the southeast of the island and comprises but a small part of the 172 square kilometers covered by volcanic debris during the eruptions of the 18th and 19th centuries. Between 1726 and 1730, frequent earthquakes and loud underground rumblings caused panic among the population of the interior, who fled, seeking refuge. The priest of Geyser, Don Andres Lorenzo Corbello, who wrote, "Between 9 and 10 o'clock in the evening, the earth suddenly opened near Timanfaya, 2 leagues from Geyser. During the first night, an enormous mountain arose out of the heart of the earth. The flames, which came out of its apex, went on burning for 19 days. This signaled the beginning of the most important period of volcanic activity in the history of the Canary Islands. It lasted for 6 years, with phases of varying intensity, during which streams of molten lava registering 800 degrees centigrade and enormous showers of ashes which thick smoke emerges and spreads over the entire island. At the same time, huge quantities of lava and ash are being scattered over the surrounding countryside. The explosions that followed this phenomenon, together with the intense darkness produced by masses of ashes and smoke covering the whole island, caused the inhabitants of Geyser to take flight several times. The lava streams and showers of volcanic rains totally destroyed around 30 hamlets, besides causing serious damage to another 20 small villages. Large areas under cultivation were also destroyed, together with crops, barns, water catchments, past.
We are now climbing towards the highest point created by this massive eruption. Lava, ash, cinder deposited various composition at various times assume colors which cannot be properly rendered from the bus.
the eruption and is 525 meters high at its summit. This volcano was covered with slag and ashes from the 18th century eruption.
We leave Timanfaya and drive by Geyser on the way to Los Hervideros on the coast, where lava entered the Atlantic Ocean during the eruption. The sun is getting low in the sky. Los Hervideros translates to the boiling pots, referring to the lava pipes or to the turbulent waters at the shoreline. We pass a large facility where sea salt is harvested from evaporation ponds. The small regular white pyramids are typical of harvested salt before packing and shipping.
It's one of the nicest times of the day to see this, just before sunset. Lanzarote is known as the island of contrast. It don't have to dry very fast in different kind of...
Huge lava pipes ended in the ocean during the eruption and are now exposed to the constant wave action, making for impressive turbulence along the rough coastline. There are many trails from the parking lot leading to viewpoints along the coast. Time is short and I rush to get the last few pictures before darkness falls.